Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Got the final list today, 26 seniors you guys are hoping to send out in really high fashion on Saturday.
Yeah, it's always a emotional day for everybody involved. But the good news, hopefully, is we got more games to play. It's always, but the sand in the hourglass is about down to there. So it happens awful quick. So, but good group, great group of guys, really good leaders, good players. Guys have really worked hard to put a season together like this, and it could have gone south really fast, and it didn't, and they didn't allow that to happen. So as a leadership group, they're one of the better ones I've had, and that they steadied the ship and kept it afloat while we were battling through some adversity there in the early part of the year. So they were great.
Seniors, coach, you got a lot of work to do in the off-season.
We're kind of done.
You got it done?
Yeah, we're done.
Good man.
Kind of, but we have got a few. We'll see. We'll see if we can find a few here in the next couple of weeks, probably months. Some of the guys, not really. Just safeties and the two outside linebackers, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. We have some good young players out here. I think that we'll be fine. We're trying to redshirt some guys. I think they'll be really good players next year for us. So, and then obviously the high school recruiting went well, and we'll see what it ends up with all the portal thing. Never know. And there's some guys on the list that may come back. Not everybody. Yeah. I mean, there could be some decisions down the road, and we tell them to err on the side of, you should do it just in case you don't come back. You'll regret it. So there's a few of those. I don't know how many. I have to go back and look, but that are kind of on the fence right now. Yeah.
Some of those seniors have had an odd college career compared to other guys that pre-COVID, what they've had to go through and experience. That was probably not something that they were thinking where they were going to have to deal with when they entered ISU.
Talk about COVID-19. Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous. We should have played, and looking back on it, these kids didn't really affect them as much, So, but yeah, it was a really bad time for them, and a bad time for everybody, really, in our country and our world. So,
Do you think some of those adversity lessons that they learned during that time kind of played them?
Maybe it's helped them. Maybe it's really helped them through what they've had to do this year. That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way, but yeah, that could be. It doesn't get any worse than that, than having something you really love taken away from you. But you had no way of controlling it. So, yeah.
Every game Saturday, coach. That was 3 quarters. You dominated that team pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. After the first drive, they had a good plan coming out of the locker room. But I think it was 31 unanswered there, and it was 31-7 in the fourth, and we substituted, and particularly on defense, and some good, some bad. Some guys got to play better, and they know what they have to do. So you put them in that situation to try to see what they got, and they just got to they haven't had a ton of opportunities, so you don't want to write a script for them right now, but there's some guys who got some work to do. So.
About North Dakota, guys can run the ball, kind of get some back.
They can really run the ball. They're very good. Very good up front. Well coached. Big, physical. Tough team. Play with good pad leverage. Really, really hard to crease them because they're shoulder to shoulder and the zone schemes and all that stuff. They're really good up front. Like their backs a lot. They're big, tough guys. They're tough kids. They run downhill, and then they have a more of a scat guy. 20 is fast, and not quite as big as the other two, but is very, very fast, and you know, he's done well as a kickoff returner as well. So yeah, they're pretty dangerous, and I think they're really good. They've always been very disruptive on defense, and you know, Coach Schwager, you know, that's his system. He's running for years down in Southern Illinois, and I think that's from North Dakota when he was there a long time ago. So he's, you know, a good football coach. So I you know, it's yeah, they provide some issues for you that you have to be aware of and have to deal with, or else you're going to have some issues, you know, going in the game, you know. So.
They had 30 defense last year. I thought they were at 40 defense last year.
No, they've been at 30 forever.
Haven't they?
Mm-hmm. They go. They have a lot of under stuff, but they
Yeah,
can go different, all kinds of different fronts, but
Yeah.
they can get to all that out of other looks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're a good team. I would classify them as a 3-down team. Yeah, because they got 2 outside backers, you know. But they do get to a 4-down look occasionally. Mm-hmm. Good team.
They've given up some points in recent weeks, but their linebacking core is really pretty solid and pretty veteran. What's been the biggest kind of hole that they've had in defense?
You know, it's not one thing. They played some really good teams. Number one, that has had some really good players, highly ranked teams. So they, you know, like the old bugaboo. You know, with defense, usually it'll stem around tackling sometimes. You know, when things that I'm just spitballing it, but I think, you know, when you look at us, you know, that's been our issue sometimes. When you give up big plays, it's tackling usually. You know.
Coach, defensively, team on the year is 24 points, but in the last 3 games, especially since getting Amir back, it's gone down to about 14 points a game, plus sacks and TFLs are up. There's got to be a correlation there.
Correct.
Yeah.
I know you know, good players make good coaches, great players make great coaches, and bad players make bad coaches. So it's just kind of the way it is. You know, Amir's a very good player. He's athletic, and he causes problems around the line of scrimmage, and because of his athleticism. And you know, I'm glad we have him back now. He's hit his stride, and he's starting to get better. And but I wish we'd had him all year. But it is what it is. Yeah, you know, maybe he's a little more fresh because he doesn't have all the other bumps and bruises. But what happened to him in the Iowa game, when you watch the mechanism of how he got hurt, it's just hard to believe he even has a leg. I mean, it was really bad. And, you know, man, he's a really good athlete because he has great flexibility. The way that leg got bent, you think, oof. But he came through and came back. And, you know, it was hard to believe, but that was awesome on his part. Anything else?
You guys have kind of been in almost, I'd say for the last 4 weeks, almost what felt like a single elimination playoff situation.
Mm.
Yourself 8 wins. Now that you got 8 wins, 1 more regular season game left. How do you go about approaching this regular season finale?
Well, I told the team on Sunday it's all about North Dakota. There's nothing else is involved right now. Our focus should be on them. All, you know, everything we can do to be successful on Saturday, because they're a good football team. They've beaten us the last 2 years tight. One's up in Grand Forks, so they've been tight games, and so we know that this team's a very good football team, and that's just all it is. It's about this game. It's about North Dakota and nothing else right now. So that's just to kind of coach how we've kind of approached it.
Anything else, Coach?
All right, thank you very much. You bet.